Welcome, family, to our monthly virtual conference. I'm your host, Emmanuel Barbee. I'm glad to have everybody tuning in. I need you all to do me a favor. Hit that like button, subscribe button, and share this video podcast on Facebook, X, formerly known as Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, LinkedIn, and any other social media sites that you are on. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. This video podcast is available in 3 forms: audio, video, and as a written text in order for us to reach our audience. I encourage all of my listeners to scroll down to the comment section below this video podcast and click on my Medium transcript in order to follow along with this presentation. If you are serious about doing business with me, then please send me your email address to my Facebook inbox, and I will email you everything that I do online. We host our virtual conference every last Saturday of the month until we are able to raise the funds for our film project, quote, Hood Liberator, Made in Chicago, The War Against Willie Lynch Begins. This is a solution-based docudrama based on my experience growing up in the inner cities of Chicago. It's also based on my revised book and the purpose why I created the grassroots community activist movement. This is our Black Panther moment, except it's not owned by Disney, it's owned by GRCAM members. We use crowdfunding on our GoFundMe page and also on our PayPal page so that everybody knows exactly where the money is going. So I recommend that, you would check those 2 sites, I would say, every 2 weeks to see the progress. The donations will help with our marketing campaign, production, and legal expenses to make this docudrama. We're asking that you donate what you can. We aim to raise $250,000. If you are a U.S. citizen, then you can donate through our PayPal giving fund. You can use that as a tax write-off because this is a legitimate 501c3 nonprofit, faith-based, and community advocacy organization. Let's keep it a buck. For 32 years, Black America, specifically Black Chicagoans, have rejected and overlooked my vision and plan to help improve the African American community. Since January of this year, 2024, I have been hosting weekly video podcasts and given everyone on my Facebook friends list an opportunity to come on this platform to promote their business, African business, small ministries, and yet out of 2,000 people that's on my Facebook friends list, only 1 person has donated to our film project so far. Ladies and gentlemen, this is unacceptable. I named this platform Help Stop the Genocide in American Ghettos podcast, not for entertainment, but for a call to action. We can't sugarcoat genocide. If you're not interested in our cause, then delete me off your friends list and do not come to no events with my name on it, and that's real. The white man is not stopping Black Americans from buying my revised book, buying items from my virtual store, or donating to my film project. That's a personal choice. Now at this stage in the game, Black America has 2 choices: either embrace annihilation or embrace survival. Those of you who have taken me for a joke will not be part of my Christian business because this is membership based. I'm asking everyone on my Facebook friends list and all other social media sites that I am on that you're listening to. Please do me a favor, purchase my revised book, quote, The Solution for Black America, Reclaiming, Rebuilding, and Restoring the Urban Ghettos in America, second edition. Either my ebook for $9.99 or the paperback for $15 plus shipping and handling. And read my story for yourself. You can find my book on my Amazon author page. I provide the link in the comment section below this video podcast. If you agree with my vision and plan to help improve Black America, then make arrangements with me to come on this platform, get on camera, and let's talk about it, and encourage others to support my work and get behind this film project. I encourage African immigrants within the United States of America from 10 African nations: South Africa, Kenya, Ethiopia, Tanzania, Uganda, Angola, Liberia, Ivory Coast, Ghana, and Nigeria, to please purchase my revised book and read my story for yourself. If you agree with what I'm trying to do to help improve Black America, then I ask that you donate what you can to the film project, and also make arrangements with me to come on this platform so we can talk about it and get others involved. Work with me to build GRCAM of Chicago. That is the Grassroots Community Activist Institute of Chicago. The sooner we get this film project popping and the proceeds from the film starts pouring in, then that will put me in a better position financially so that I can purchase property in Chicago, buy office equipment, hire qualified Black middle class professionals and African immigrants within the United States of America so that we can build GRCAM of Chicago. GRCAM of Chicago will serve both the African American community and the African immigrant community for credibility. Then I will be in the better position to turn the business over and bring the business to the African continent, starting in South Africa. The purpose of me doing all of these video podcasts is to gather like-minded Black Americans and like-minded African immigrants in America to work with me to turn my vision and plan into a reality by building the Grassroots Community Activist Institute of Chicago for Black families, and also to let the Black world know who we are and what we're trying to do before we expand to Africa. We will bring the best of the diaspora to each African nation so that we can set up local chapters and do international trade among our brothers and sisters on the continent, especially the ones that's going to be GRCAM members. We will reconnect Black entrepreneurs with African entrepreneurs, Black artists with African artists. In this Christian business, our objective is to heal from enslavement and colonization. GRCAM would take the lead in solving Black issues within the United States of America, as well as throughout the diaspora. Lord knows I would like to do more than just news and social commentaries. But at this point, I am working on a shoestring budget. All I have, all of my funds go towards rent, food, and bills. Without financial support from the Black grassroots and the global African family, then I am unable to do my God-given assignment, and that is to build the best African American business within the United States of America. This is a Nehemiah assignment. I do not operate like the next Black man. I have my own style and way of doing things. You don't have to like me, but you will respect me. The sooner we get this film project fully funded and made, the sooner we can move GRCAM to the next level. And that is making our presence known in the African American community as well as in the African immigrant community. I encourage Black millennials and Generation Z to get behind this film project and help me get this revised book on the bestsellers list so that way the Black world can take us serious. After all, this Christian business is my gift to you and your family. I encourage all of my international friends in my African group, GRCAM of Africa, even if you're unable to participate in these events, please watch the replay. Leave a public comment about it on my YouTube page and share it with all of your friends on all social media sites that you are on. This will help get the ball rolling. I encourage all of my Christian friends in my Christian groups, Light of the World Inspirational Group and Christian Spoken Word Network. Even if you're unable to participate in this event, please watch the replay, leave a public comment about it on my YouTube page, and share it with all of your friends on social media sites that you are on. This will help get the ball rolling. I encourage all of my supporters in my secular groups, GRCAM of Chicago and GRCAM of Africa, as well as New Black Voices of Media, etc. Even if you are unable to participate in this event, please watch the replay, leave a public comment about it on my YouTube page, and share this video podcast with all of your friends on all social media sites that you are on. This will help get the ball rolling. The title of this presentation, GRCAM Virtual Conference, Saturday, September 28th, 2024. Theme, Lessons Learned from the UK Riots. Before I go into my presentation, I need to address African immigrants and Native Africans. I encourage all of my listeners to please go to my Medium page, which is located in the comment section below this video podcast. Click on the link and scroll down to show and prove so that you can follow along with this presentation. Once I'm done with this presentation, then I will open up the phone lines so that you can come on the show and express your thoughts. Let's have this conversation. Notice the mainstream media have not covered the UK riots like they have with the war between Israel and Hamas. Again, I encourage all of my listeners to please go to my Medium page, which is located in the comment section below this video podcast. Click on the link and scroll down to show and prove. Now, I encourage everyone to please watch the first 5 videos. They are as follows. 1. Shocking racist and xenophobic attacks in the UK intensify. UK riots, 400 arrests amid far-right violence and clashes with police. 2. White man unalived black boy in brutal sword attack in UK. UK riots get out of control as the far-right groups take over. Black people in fear and in hiding over UK racist riots. 3. Neo-Nazis demand Australia be only for white people. Number 4. Australia for the white man. The rest must go. Demonstrators chant, holding a sign. Number 5. Boer minister says there will be a civil war in South Africa if black get their land back. I notice when Afro-Caribbeans and Afro-immigrants, when they come to Western nations like the United States of America, Canada, or Europe, they act like they have made it to heaven or won the lottery. They fail to realize that Western nations is the cause of their economic issues, which stems from colonization. Now, from a spiritual point of view, using um, the King James Version, Caesar Augusta is the father of white supremacy. According to the King James Version, Luke chapter 2, verse 1 states, "And it came to pass in those days that there went out a decree from Caesar Augusta that all the world should be taxed." That decree did not come from God. Again, that decree did not come from God. Caesar Augusta actually thought he was the only ruler. According to Acts chapter 17, verse 6 and 7. So, you all can read that on your own. The white supremacists left Europe according to their history books. They wanted to trade with other people, but in reality, they invaded indigenous people's land, using the power of the gun to do so, to do away with indigenous people's way of doing things by imposing European culture and economic systems on others. For example, when the Europeans arrived in Australia, that land was a black nation occupied by Aboriginal Australians, also called Aborigines. The white supremacist financial elites installed their culture and economic system of white supremacy based on racial identity throughout Australia, Africa, Canada, South America, and the New World, which is known as the United States of America. We pray for the safety of our brothers and sisters in the UK. This should be a wake-up call to the black world. When you are living in someone else's country, you are at their mercy. Now, in contrast, you have Europeans today walking around freely in Africa, trying to impose European culture on Africans, specifically those who reside in South Africa. There's 2 white-only towns in South Africa called Orania and Clifffontein. It's actually culturally segregated, Africana-only settlements. To watch video clips about these 2 white-only towns in South Africa, just go to my Medium page, which is located in the comment section below this video podcast. Click on the link and scroll down to show and prove. In order for me to do my job, I need like-minded African immigrants and like-minded Black Americans to help me build GRCAM of Chicago so that we can create a better system that will offer true liberation for Black people and African people. But we have to build it first. White supremacy have waged war against Africa for the past 500 years. Africa is a continent of 1.4 billion people. God has blessed Africa and melanated people with all the natural resources such as diamonds, gold, minerals, and oil. Yet a majority of Africans live in extreme poverty, deprived of basic human rights, education, food, healthcare, housing, and the dignity of finding employment. There's an enormous disparity in wealth and resources between Africa and Western nations like European nations and the United States of America, because the white supremacist financial elites is hoarding all of Africa's natural resources. We have to confront them and put an end to this for the sake of the next generation. Before I can cut and run to Africa, GRCAM members have to build GRCAM of Chicago for Black Americans who are unable to leave due to lack of finances. My Christian business is for single Black parents. I want to give them an opportunity to become global citizens. I don't want to see them raise their children in an urban war zone. We will do our best that we can to provide a safe place for them and their children. We want to give our youth an outlet to be in our Black empowerment films to show the Black world the same things we have to offer. We want to reconnect with our brothers and sisters on the continent by first building an alliance with African immigrants who are in America so that we can learn firsthand about their culture before we travel to the continent. I am proud of Mali, Burkina Faso, and Niger for standing up to France, kicking them out and reclaiming their independence. I am called to recruit brave and smart, like-minded Black Americans and like-minded African immigrants within the United States of America to work with me to create the best African American Christian business within the United States of America called GRCAM of Chicago. GRCAM of Chicago will become a new global economic system which will be created by GRCAM members in America first for credibility before we expand to 10 African nations. History will judge us not by our words, but by our actions. The Black world is watching. Pan-Africanism has failed Africa because the leaders left God out of the equation. Jesus/Yahshua gave me this vision, and I claim ownership of it. Those who reject my vision and plan will not be part of my Christian business. This will be membership based. For 32 years, Black Americans, specifically Black Chicagoans, have taken me for joke. They refuse to buy my revised book, purchase items from my virtual store. This is why I am reaching out to African immigrants from 10 African nations within the United States of America to work with me to turn my vision and plan into a reality. Then we're going to expand it to the African continent. History will judge us not by our words, but by our actions. And again, the Black world is watching. The world faces many challenges and threats as well as wars, climate change, and public health challenges. These threats affect economic growth and development. There is widespread inequality, poverty, unemployment, deprivation on the African continent. We want to make GRCAM Chicago an international global institution in Africa, Brazil, and throughout the Caribbean. It's time for the diaspora to reclaim our ancestral homeland, the African continent, and put my ideas into action. In other words, work with me while I'm alive. Don't wait until I am dead. I'm calling upon those who are brave enough, smart enough. Make yourself known. I'm not on here playing games. I'm trying to do something. And I don't want to be doing this another 32 years. And that's real. I don't want to be bogged down with American issues. I want to bring GRCAM to South Africa. GRCAM will become known as Global Kemet once we go to South Africa. Kemet is the original name for Egypt, which means, quote, the black land. The white supremacist financial elites control 80% of the land in South Africa, which is in the hands of a white minority. The vast majority of Black Africans bear the brunt of an unjust, unfair system that has been in Africa for far too long. In GRCAM, both Black Americans and African immigrants will heal from enslavement and colonization in the next generation, because this mess has been passed down. And again, I am called to, the buck stops here with me through this business. If Africa is serious about me coming to the continent, then African immigrants in America need to help accelerate our efforts to get this film project fully funded and made. We will work toward an agenda for peace, but this involves GRCAM members worldwide for us to strengthen our actions. We commit ourselves to put forth concrete action so that we can solve African issues like land redistribution through reparations for colonization of South Africa by the former colonizers. 7 European nations owe Africa reparations for colonization. They are as follows: Belgium, France, Germany, Great Britain, Italy, Portugal, and Spain, according to the 1884 Berlin Conference, which I mentioned in my revised book. I'm very disappointed with the South African election. The ANC, which has been in power for 30 years, have won the election once again. In second place was the Democratic Alliance, which is the party of the former colonizers. Julius Malema and his EFF, Economic Freedom Fighters, came in fourth place, which is shameful. If Black South Africans were serious about the election, then Julius Malema would have been president of South Africa. I believe that the EFF and the MK party should drop their egos and unite for the sake of African youth and to reclaim their land. Any Black African that's part of the Democratic Alliance is a sellout to Africa and the Black race. AfriForum should be disbanded. It's a racist organization within a Black nation. My listeners should have a better understanding about our call to action to build a system for Black people and African people than the current system we currently live under. The failure for me to get like-minded Black Americans and like-minded African immigrants will be a betrayal of future generations. If we lose Africa, then we lose everything. The battle is not for America. The battle is for Africa. I don't want to die in America. You know what I'm saying? I want to bring my business to the African continent. But we got to get it popping here first again for credibility, so that way the Black world can take us serious. Since January of this year, I have been trying to raise funds for my film project, and out of 2,000 people that's on my Facebook friends list alone, only one person has donated to the film project. And that's a doggone shame, for real. In contrast, according to Fortune, quote, a Zoom call of 44,000 Black women raised $1.5 million for Kamala Harris in 3 hours. We were ready, unquote. To read the full article, just go to my Medium page, which is located in the comment section below this video podcast. Click on the link and scroll down to show and prove. The issue is Kamala Harris has been in office for 4 years and she has not done anything for the African American community. But yet they're going to sit up here and raise $1.5 million for her political campaign. And all I'm trying to raise is $250,000 to try to make a quality film. But it is what it is. This is the most important election for Black America. At this stage of the game, Black America has two choices: either embrace annihilation or embrace survival. I am only responsible for GRCAM members. Those who are not part of us, we will pray for them, show them tough love, and keep it moving. In other words, we will mind our Black business. All of the principles in my revised book is the code for GRCAM members. In my Christian business, we will raise the bar in Black America. We will separate ourselves from con artists, the Black Boule, degenerates, Democratic shields, hardened criminals, pedophiles, off-code Negroes, and urban terrorists. We will offer a second chance program for ex-offenders for nonviolent crimes, former gang members, and homeless individuals to be a part of us. The question at hand, how long will it take for us to get this film project fully funded and made? The answer is it's up to the Black grassroots and the global African family. I can't do everything. I've done my part. 32 years, online and offline, I've been reaching out to Black Americans. Thank God for Sister Renee. She's been working with me for 12 years behind the scenes. I have a lot of respect for that sister. And before I leave the United States of America, I want to make sure that we're going to set up a local chapter for her in West Memphis, Arkansas. Just, to reward her openly. I want the whole Black world to know who she is. And that's my way of letting her know that I appreciate what she has been doing for the past 12 years. And I wish God would connect me with more sisters and brothers like her to work with me so I can go ahead and do my job. Again, God give us free will. And it's not the white man that's stopping Black Americans from purchasing my revised book, buying items from the virtual store, or donating to the film project. That's a personal choice. We encourage non-Black sympathizers to patronize our film project, but it's Black Americans and African immigrants who are GRCAM members' responsibility to build it and to own it. On this platform, we promote the gospel of truth with facts. I encourage all of my listeners who are American citizens to vote against blue no matter who, down ballot, because we want to politically punish the Democrats for denying us the reparation bills in California, for prioritizing illegal immigrants and rewarding them for breaking state and federal law. The only way we can do this is at the ballot box. So from the top of the ticket to down, vote for anybody except Democrats. This would let them know we're standing on business, ladies and gentlemen. So that's what the strategy is in this election. Vote against blue no matter who, because we can't continue to reward the Democrats. 60 years of voting for them, and we have nothing to show for it. The Democrats plan on allowing all these other groups to leap over us and give them resources while overlooking us. They are going to legalize all these illegal immigrants who just crossed the border. They're going to give them amnesty and allow them to vote. And then when that happens, we will be just like our brothers and sisters in California. They are only 6% of the population, and their vote is irrelevant. Black America better not put that woman in office. Otherwise, Black America as a collective will be finished as a result of listening to these off-code Negroes telling you to vote for Kamala Harris. I have always wanted to do bigger and better things. This docudrama will give an in-depth explanation of why we as a collective group are the poorest people in the world, and what we can do about it from a grassroots perspective. I believe that obtaining economic tangibles should be our top priority, along with neighborhood safety. Presidential elections come and go, but Black economic empowerment is here to stay until Jesus returns. GRCAM members are the only group who is going to protect that. Black people have been engaged in a centuries-long conflict against the white supremacist financial elites who intend to make us their slaves for eternity. Other generations have then focus on pure survival. Others will focus on changing the racist system through the civil rights era. On this platform, we're about encouraging GRCAM members to work with me in building GRCAM Chicago for the sake of our children and the Black world. The civil rights generation got caught up with pushing for social integration and cultural assimilation. In other words, in order to gain status in the dominant society. What we're going to build is something that's going to turn around our inner cities in America if given a chance. The grassroots community activist movement will be dedicated to providing a backbone for the African American community and the African immigrant community. Our purpose for creating this docudrama is to generate capital, because it takes capital to get things done. And also, I want to put me in a better position so I can hire qualified Black middle class professionals and qualified African immigrants to help me turn my vision into a reality. My revised book and my virtual store was unable to get Black Americans on board. So this is why my focus is on getting this film project fully funded and made in order to get our message out to the Black masses worldwide. The proceeds from the film, like I say, would help put me in a better position financially so that I can purchase property, buy office equipment, hire qualified Black middle class professionals, and qualified African immigrants, so that together we will build the Grassroots Community Activist Institute of Chicago. Our aim is to make a collective impact in our inner cities by strengthening the Black family through our initiatives and our community impact. Our vision to become an economic base for the African American community and the African immigrant community in order to create a thriving community on the west side of Chicago, specifically Austin, Garfield Park, and North Lawndale. In due time, we will expand to the south side of Chicago and replicate the same thing, because we want to make Chicago a model. And again, I don't want to spend the rest of my life, in America and, keep reaching out to Black Americans on all that stuff. Ain't nothing changed. Those that rejected my vision, they would not be part of it, because this is membership based. And that's how come once we have this organization up and running, we want to serve the community. We want to hold those mandatory orientations. We want to make sure people sign that community pledge. And I want to make sure people pass our criminal background checks and submit their thumbprint. And that way, we're going to have rewards. We're going to reward people, and we're going to have consequences for people that's going to try to undermine us. So we'll have all that stuff ready. Our mission: to eradicate urban violence in Chicago through art, culture, commerce, spiritual development, and hosting African and Caribbean tours. We will promote Black economic empowerment by teaching our members and students how to obtain economic independence and become self-sufficient. When going back is not an option, we must pave a way forward. After 15 years of being rejected and overlooked, I was led to create a nonprofit social enterprise called the Grassroots Community Activist Institute of Chicago. A social enterprise is a business that uses a market-driven approach to address unmet needs or solve social or environmental problems. Employment and community is key to ending senseless violence in impoverished urban neighborhoods. We will be a community of like-minded Black Americans and like-minded African immigrants who share the same values and purpose through teamwork and are committed to ongoing personal and professional development. We will control our curriculum. We will offer accredited associate degrees, and accredited certificate programs for our vocational training. Under our fashion design program, we will create our own design handbags and accessories, gym shoes, t-shirts, etc. Our artwork will be our will be about creating opportunities for inner city youth and their families, overcoming enslavement and colonization into a thriving black business and African business. It's about personal development, deep inner work that brings potential to stitch lives back together that have been severed in the turmoil of trauma. This institution will help change the lives of inner city youth and their families. Our brand is a message that healing is possible for those who want more out of life. Our objective is to help improve the quality of life for local residents we will serve in the community. In addition, we aim to promote economic opportunities in the African American community and the African immigrant community by being a community advocate and resource for GRCAM members and our students. We will promote our members' business through marketing initiatives, public relation campaigns, and corporative advertising that reach local, regional, national, and global markets. GRCAM Chicago will function as a support system that will empower the African American community and the African immigrant community, both socially and economically. We will highlight members' businesses at networking events and in our monthly newsletters. Our tour tourism component will help drive tourism to Chicago as a voice of advocacy for the African American community and the African immigrant community. GRCAM Chicago will build a strong foundation for our programs and services. We will strengthen our ties to the community at large through educational workshops, seminars, and neighborhood initiatives that benefit everyone. In addition, we want to increase the collective impact of our members and students in the areas of education and economic opportunities. Our core values: unity. We come together as a respectful community, one voice on one accord. Commitment. We respect the requirements necessary for us to reach our community goals, and we will demonstrate our passion and dedication through our actions. Transparency. We will openly communicate among one another, share information, and our, our opinion loud and clear. Collaboration. We will form an alliance with African immigrant organizations that share our values, as well as with international African organizations that will be part of the Grassroots Community Activist Network. We aim to work together productively for our youth and for the best interest of our community, leveraging one another's talents and contributions. Action. We hold ourselves accountable while doing the work needed to progress and achieve our goals. We aim to launch a restorative justice initiative in order to deal with the high rates of urban violence. The emphasis of the restorative justice initiative is on healing and repairing harm rather than violent methods of retaliation and punishment. These efforts will help GRCAM members to build stronger relationship between community members, empower neighborhood residents to resolve issues without police interventions, begin repairing systematic harms done to the community by learning to get along with other like-minded Black Americans, and like-minded African immigrants. Community research. We will focus on gathering data about the community we will serve to measure our progress on a bi-monthly basis. We will push for lineage-based cash payment reparations for descendants of American slaves, as well as we want to push for an anti-Black hate crime bill. GRCAM of Chicago will be a multi-purpose facility functioning as a nonprofit as well as a for-profit business. GRCAM of Chicago will operate under 9 separate functions under one roof. A social service component, a spiritual component, which will be optional for secular people, a political component, entertainment component, an entrepreneur component, a health and wellness component, a Black media component, science and technology component, travel and tourism component. Under the for-profit service business component, which will be known as the Red Zone, we will offer state-of-the-art recreational center, which will have bowling, high rope adventures, captivating game rooms, featuring the latest video and amusements, stylish billboard boards, energetic dance rooms, and quality restaurants, various businesses, on-site child daycare, and an on-site music recording studio for our members and students making documentary films and stage plays. In addition, we will host family-friendly activities, including combination deals, birthday parties, weddings, and corporate parties and events. Under the nonprofit cooperative, which will be known as the Green Zone, GRCAM of Chicago will be governed by an advisory board. GRCAM of Chicago will be membership-based and operate for the mutual benefit of our members. Also, any earnings we make are returned to our members in the form of lower prices through our quality programs and services. We will assist our members with their utility bills depending on our budget and sponsorship. We will offer a light grocery through our food pantries and tutorial services for Black youth and their families. We will practice group economics in real time by pooling our resources together in order to create and control our own community health care center, community grocery store, and community housing. This will be group economics in action. GRCAM of Chicago will help benefit Africa because we will form an alliance with African immigrants in the United States of America, starting in Chicago. In each African nation we will visit, we will match Black entrepreneurs with African entrepreneurs, Black artists with African artists, so that we can do international trade among our people and among our members. GRCAM members will build the best African American business within the United States of America with God's help. The sooner we get this popping in America, the sooner I can turn the business over and expand my Christian business to Africa. We're going to separate ourselves from con artists, the coons, sellouts, and off-code Negroes. The main question is, what is politics? Politics is a system and mechanism in which the white supremacist financial elites control and distribution of resources. The illegal immigration are utilizing the resources of the federal and state government to try to derail what we are trying to do at the grassroots level. Black Americans are the most ambitious and industrious people that you will ever meet. The white supremacist capital model is warfare. War is defined as destructive. So bear with me, y'all. Seems like I'm having some technical difficulties. Things happen like this when you're talking truth to power. But it's very important what I have to say. So just bear with me. Justice is constructive. Justice builds and improves on where it is to the mutual benefit of all. Africa have been using agriculture for thousands of years before Europeans traveled to Africa. In GRCAM, Chicago, we're going to get this Willie Lynch mentality straightened out once and for all so that it won't continue to be passed down to the next generation. In addition, we will teach our students who are musicians about the music side of business. The only thing stopping you is either lack of talent or lack of funds. We will encourage our members and students to get legal representation first before signing any contracts and to negotiate a fair deal and know upfront who controls the publishing and masters. We don't have to depend on radio promotions any longer because you can promote yourself through social media and get distribution from sites like Amazon, iTunes, and YouTube. We welcome independent artists and undiscovered artists to come on this platform to promote their music to our global audience. Economic tangibles need to be the priority for Black Americans because that's our last battle in America in order for us to transform our communities, neighborhoods, and our environment. Chicago and New York have had to hand over resources to illegal immigrants. If Black America vote Kamala Harris into office, Black America and our children as a collective will be a permanent underclass. Don't take my word for it. Check out the new piece from WTTW entitled, quote, New study examines Chicago's economic and racial disparities, finds 72% of white families own homes compared to 34% of Black families, unquote. To watch the video, just go to my Medium transcript, which is located in the comment section below this video podcast. Click on the link and scroll down to show and prove. Also read the article from The Guardian entitled, quote, Median wealth of Black Americans will fall to zero by 2023, warns news report, unquote. I found an article from Bloomberg entitled, quote, Chicago halts hiring as deficit tops $1 billion through 2025. Again, to read the article, just go to my Medium transcript located below this video podcast in the comments section. Click on the link and scroll down to show and prove. Basically, what the article was talking about is that the city of Chicago is going to have a hiring freeze. There's going to be a hiring freeze because there's going to be a deficit of $1 billion through the next year. Chicago has paid $300 million for illegal immigrants, for people who are not supposed to be on the soil. These Democrat politicians are going to tell the rest of us that we have to carry that burden. All those millions of dollars that were given to illegal immigrants without a committee or commission, but they're telling Black Americans we need a study, a committee, and a commission on reparations, which is a lie. Now they're telling us that there will be a hiring freeze. They're also doing the same thing in New York. These so-called sanctuary cities were intended to balance their budget on the backs of descendants of American slaves, freemen, and tell us what we have to pay for it, while at the same time denying us our reparations. Chicago is limiting non-essential travel and overtime expenses outside of public safety. The mayor is trying to make good on his progressive social and economic campaign promises while grappling with the city's financial challenges. Please leave a public comment about the topic in the comment section below this video podcast and share with your friends on all social media sites you are on. This will help get the ball rolling. I'm going to send a challenge out to everybody that's listening to this video podcast. I need you all to support our film project so that we can move beyond cyberspace and get our story on the big screen, to let the Black world know who we are and what we're trying to do for our people who are trapped in American ghettos, starting in Chicago. Quote, Hood Liberator Made in Chicago, the war against Willie Lynch begins. You can be a part of this historic docudrama by contributing to our campaign either on our GoFundMe page or on our PayPal page, which will help fund marketing, promotion, clearance, legal, and general expenses. We're opening up the phone lines through Facebook Messenger. I will drop the link to the StreamYard studio. I need to see you on camera first before you come on the show in order to weed out trolls. With that being said, the phone lines are now open. Please, again, if you're not able to participate on this virtual conference, just watch the replay. Share this video podcast with all your friends. Put me on blast, okay? And I pray to God that this video podcast will go viral. Again, I don't want to be doing this another 32 years. And again, I'm trying to make my information out there known. Again, I want to connect with like-minded Black Americans, like-minded African immigrants. It's very frustrating, but somebody has to do this. Some of my critics say that I'm wasting my life, that I have been wasting my life, I should have done something else. And I tell them I beg to differ. Our children matter. Our children did not ask to come here. Now, I don't have any children because I had a real rough childhood, and this world don't deserve my seed. I'm just being real. But I care about my racial group. Otherwise, I wouldn't have been doing this for the past 32 years. But again, I don't want to be doing this for the rest of my life. For me and myself, I want to move on to do greater things. But I just got to get this film project out there. My film project is my last attempt to try to do something positive for my racial group. I'm trying to create the best African-American business within the United States of America. Those that took me for a joke, I mean, it is what it is. Ain't nothing changing on my end. I can't pass down this business to my family members because a majority of my family is full of Willie Lynch. It is what it is. This business is going to be passed down to GRCAM members. So I need y'all to stand up. All I'm asking you to do is read my story for yourself first. Those that agree, please make arrangement with me to come on this platform, get on camera, and let's talk about it. Those that disagree, delete me off your friends list. Do not come to no events with my name on it. And I did not stutter. This is where I stand, and that's real. Thank you all for listening. Again, the phone lines are now open. So talk to me. I don't want to be on here just running off at the mouth. I want to interact. This is what this platform is all about. 2,000 people that's on my Facebook friends list. Where y'all at? Make yourself known. Come on here. All right.
I'm gonna wait around for about 15 minutes. If I don't hear from anyone, that's going to conclude our program for today. Phone lines are now open.